Host Judy Jewett. Welcome to Real Business Breakthrough. This show is about helping conscious entrepreneurs to just open up and learn more and be energized and inspired and have a great time, is all I can say. Guests come from all walks of life, and the show is about 20 minutes long. So please stay with us. I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself, and then we're going to go right in with our fabulous guest. You wait until you meet Scarlett. I am the founder of Real Healing Method and the Real Community Academy, where I go in and teach people how to heal themselves. You gain more confidence, you have clarity, and you step right into your authority. What is better in life than to have the skills and the tools that you need? I also help entrepreneurs to raise their vibration. You can call it frequency, energy, and when you do, and you raise your vibration in your business, you're going to have more confidence. You're going to make a lot more money and have a lot more success. So that is with Judy Jewett. Now, today our guest, she is an extraordinary woman. She lives in New York. She is, she's very diverse in what she does. So I'm going to share a little bit about her. Scarlett DeBease is a personal wardrobe stylist who shows women entrepreneurs what clothes to wear so they make more money and attract better clients. She guides her clients to create their own unique signature style, feel fearless and confident to be seen and heard, and excited to put themselves out to the world in a way that is game-changing. She is the founder of Scarlett Image Consulting and author of Stop Stressing About Dressing. You're one of a kind in person, and worldwide online workshops reveal how a more powerful presence leads to more opportunities and more profit. So with that, I would love to welcome Scarlett. Hello, Scarlett.
Hey, thank you, Judy. I'll tell you one of the benefits of having clothes that you love to wear that you feel good in is confidence. And you mentioned that word a couple of times when you talked about your work. When you have confidence, it changes everything. And women, far more than men, tend to lose a lot of self-confidence when it comes to their bodies and the clothes and how they look in them and feel in them and fit in them. And so women really have bad days when they put something on and it doesn't close, but it closed the day before or the week before. And so it kind of messes up our minds and our heads. And then that causes a lack of self-confidence. And when you have a lower self-esteem or less confidence in yourself, it affects everything in your life. It affects not just your work, but your family, your friendships. I mean, I have women who've told me before they've gotten new wardrobes and new outfits that they stopped, accepting invitations, or they wouldn't even put the camera on Zoom, or they would come down with stomach bugs or headaches before it was time to go, let's say, to a wedding or some sort of, special party or barbecues. I mean, it's amazing. So what I do is I help women be able to open up their closet and look into it and have tons of outfits, but fewer clothes in their closet than they had before. And that's accomplished because when you have the right clothes in your closet, you're able to make more outfits using what you have, and you're able to spend your time and your energy on your work and your family and some fun in your life. And instead of always focusing on, does this look good on me? Do I look fat? Do I look frumpy? Is the button going to pop? Instead of always going into all that stuff, you can just put your outfit on and you walk out the door or you walk to your desk or wherever you're working and you're ready to go. And you're not thinking and you're not scrambling and you're not running out to a store to buy something new because you think you don't have anything at home. The truth is you have some pretty good things at home. You just don't realize it and you don't know all the new ways you can wear it. And that's what I do for my clients. I create new outfits for them using what they have, find things for them online or in the stores if I'm working in person that they would not have picked out for themselves. And then now they have new things and then a whole bunch of new outfits that I've designed for them.
That is beautiful. That is wonderful. And I can't stress enough of everything you're saying is so true. I mean, women between their hair, right? Women will spend a fortune on their hair,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And then their clothes have to look right. And you're right. Women will not go out. They won't do things. They will cancel if they don't feel attractive. So the bottom line is a lot of women walk around feeling like they're not enough. And when you work with women, they're feeling like $1 million.
Yeah, it's a big transformation, and I have to say that a lot of times women put off taking care of themselves. First, it's the family, then it's their maybe they have their own business now, and then they think that they have to do everything for the business, like a new website and the new business cards, and personal branding in terms of logos and colors, but forgetting that they are the business, they're the face of the business, and you represent your business. And so the message you put out there should be one of authority, ability to be different than somebody else, to be creative. And if you're always focusing on everything else but yourself, you reach a point in your life where you realize as you get older that if not now, when? And this is, I mean, a lot of women come to me when they're getting close to 60 or they're in their 60s already and sometimes in their 70s because they realize that they've wasted all those years either taking care of other people or thinking that if they lose enough weight, everything will miraculously just be fantastic and look great on them, which is not true because it doesn't matter what size you are. If you have the wrong clothes, they're the wrong clothes. It doesn't matter if you're a size 2 or a 22. But so a lot of women just put off and they put off and they put off doing for themselves what is incredibly important for their family and their business and their regular, happy, day-to-day life, going out with friends. When you don't have clothes that make you feel good, and you have that negative self-talk, and then sometimes you say things out loud. I've had women hire me because they realized that what they were saying out loud was destroying their own daughters because they're hearing their mother always saying, I'm fat, I don't look good, or nothing works for me. And that negative talk, then they hear their daughters start to say, I'm fat, why does everybody else look better? And so you have to be really careful the message you're telling yourself and to others.
Excuse
It's a
me.
big difference because sometimes.
Thank
So
you. You're
it's
right. You're right.
it's devastating what we do to ourselves. Women are incredible. Men are like, hey, it doesn't fit, I'll get a size up. Women, it's like a whole other thing. And I always stress it doesn't matter what size you are. It really doesn't. If you have clothes that are the right fit and style and color for you, because I also help women determine what the best colors are, you will look much better than somebody who is thinner than you wearing the wrong clothes. It's never the size or the weight that has to do with anything, ever, ever, ever,
It
ever.
is. And when you're dressed and feel great, you will feel like $1 million, and you will
Absolutely.
smile, and your light brights up the sky. Just
Yep.
it does. It changes your life. I want to ask you, how do you go about doing this? Do you see women in person? Do you do it online, or how do you do? Or
Yeah.
do you do events in person? I mean, like you do
Yeah.
events, right? Yeah.
I started working in person like everybody else did, but about 11 years ago, I added virtual styling. So when the pandemic started, I wasn't in a panic mode because I already had everything set up to work virtually. And I have a program that I offer my clients where they get a virtual closet where their clothes go in there, a lookbook with all the outfits I create for them, and a shopping finds page where the things that I find for them that they would not have picked out on their own, head to toe, tops, bottoms, everything, accessories, shoes. And then I make new outfits using the new clothes with their existing clothes. I started offering virtual styling 11 years ago because some women would tell me that they wanted to work with me, but they were very uncomfortable with having me go into their home and seeing their closet. Who
Yes.
knew,
Okay.
right? So there was that. And then also I had a client, she's still my client, an excellent business coach, and she had a mastermind group. And I said in the group, I said, I'm getting burnt out. I'm driving, 1.5 hours sometimes each way. Then I'm with my clients for a couple of hours, really 3 to 4 hours. So the whole day is gone. And then I would have to come home and have, a young child at home and with homework. I was going nuts. And so somebody in the group said, "Why don't you work virtually?" And I went, "That's ridiculous. That's insane. I can't do what I'm doing." But when you're in a group and they throw something out at you, you're up, you have to do it. Within a year, it was 50% of my business working virtually. So, and many of my clients are within half an hour from me, yet they still prefer virtual because it saves them time too. And also, I have to tell you, ladies, when you go shopping in a store and you can't find anything, it's not always your fault. The stores are not very kind to a lot of us. They do tend to gear like towards younger people who like to wear holes in their clothes. And so a lot of holes in the clothes. So I do all my shopping for all my clients online now. And I just I find more out there. There's a better selection. And the store's not going to have you, not always going to have your size. It's just harder. But online shopping is for me very easy, and so that's what I do for most of my clients. But virtually, it's seamless. It's wonderful. I just helped a client 2 days ago put together her outfits because she's being honored at a university. They're actually naming a building after her. It's a pretty big deal. And so I helped her with the outfits for the board meeting, the when she's making her speech, and for the breakfast the next day. So all done through the computer. It's on Zoom. It's fantastic. And it's easy. You're done, go.
Well,
you know?
I sense very strongly you're really good with just saying, looking, saying, yeah, that one's it. No, next page. You can do it very quickly.
Yeah. I can do it very quickly. I can shop what takes somebody else to do shopping online hours, and they might even give up. I can do in a matter of minutes. But because I know how the different store websites work, I also know what works for each person. Because when I work with somebody, I look at their features and their proportions, and so I know what manufacturers work best for them. And I always encourage women, whether you work with me or on your own, to try different manufacturers in different stores. Don't keep buying the same thing over and over, the same style. Women tend to buy duplicates of what they already own, and
Right.
then and they tend to buy based on it fits. Not do I love how I look in it, which is really what your watermark, I think is the right expression, should be. It should be, how good do I feel? How tall am I standing? How much am I smiling when I look at my reflection? Don't buy anything just because you're happy you can get it over your head or you can zip it up. You're never going to want to wear it again. It's not going to make you feel good. And women tend to, they have an event coming up and they rush out to the store to buy something new because they think there's nothing in their closet. And then they just buy something because they're just happy they can get it on. And that's the wrong way to gauge what looks good on you. It's just wrong.
You're what you teach and what you do as a service, like there's many other services I think that schools should have for children and girls, young girls and boys, especially girls, to feel good about themselves and do makeovers and what do you look best in, and
Yeah.
I do think that that would help self-esteem. I feel teaching children about money and about saving and what you're doing and how to budget is also very important. I
Yeah.
think the top one is about energy. Understanding everything has a frequency and how you can go in and change it, and for people to be more, teach children to be more empowered to be themselves, and to know that they are the authority of their life. Because we walk around not feeling smart enough, good enough, thin enough, pretty enough, uh, especially tall enough. That was mine because I'm only 5'2". But it just like we go through all of this, just chaos in our mind of those kind of things, right? We don't want to show up like you're talking about women that won't go. I can remember when I was 24 and not going somewhere, and I wasn't even heavy, but I thought, oh, I just had a baby, I'm heavy, right? and I didn't go. I mean, it's a
Yeah.
low self-esteem.
Yeah, we all wish we all didn't appreciate how smaller we were when we were younger. We didn't appreciate when we were smaller sizes, and then now a lot of women look back and go, God, I wish I was that size again. But then we were that size, we didn't appreciate it because we're
Right. So,
constantly thinking
so
of
it,
ourselves.
exactly. So school is really only part education, academic. It really needs to be so much more.
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah,
really feel that.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's also why the mothers of children need to be careful what they say in front of them.
that's
You
true.
know,
That's true because they heard it from their mother, and their
yeah,
mother heard it from their mother.
yeah,
And it's
yeah,
it's a lineage, it's an ancestral ordeal,
yep,
right? Of
yep.
how you do things. It definitely is. And
I had a client years ago. We spoke on the phone, and she told me how she was really unhappy with her wardrobe, and she was starting a new job, and she really needed new outfits. So I was going to her home, and she asked me what could she do to prepare, and I said to her, "Well, I ask that you have a good breakfast so that you're not hungry, and make sure you have a full length mirror." And she said, "You know what? I don't have that. I'm going to go to Bed Bath and Beyond, and I'm going to get myself a full length mirror." And when I arrived at her house, she said to me, I forgot I already had a full length mirror. Okay, so I go into her closet, which was an older home, so the closet was actually like an extra bedroom, but it was a very small room, and one entire wall was mirrored, the
really,
entire wall. And as we're working together, she confessed to me how her mother, as she was growing up, kept telling her, "You're too fat. You need to do this. You should get some surgery." And so she was so programmed by the negative talk from her mother that she couldn't even look at herself in the mirror. That she'd actually forgotten the mirror was there. And I'm talking mirror because of all that horrible stuff that she had learned. And you know what, Judy? She was a size 8. She wasn't
wow.
even a big woman. So but it's so damaging what we say to our children or what they hear us say to
It
ourselves.
is. When I work with clients, I absolutely help them to identify exactly what you're talking about. And I always know if it's still playing out in their reality, it's stuck energy. It's energy blocks that just piles up, and some of it begins as a core issue. So if I can go in and help a person to identify, and I'm like you, like where you are with clothes, I know like immediately what's going on and what needs to be done, and I can trace it, and you can clear that, then patterns lift up and they change.
Yeah, yeah,
They
yeah.
just change your life
I
when
always, I always say it's like the Wizard of Oz when it went from black and white to color. That's how life can be. you know?
exactly. It is. It really is. And it is important to change. And the ancestral part of generation after generation is huge. And the mother that probably did that to her child, if her mother didn't do it, then the grandmother did it, or somebody in the family did it.
Yeah.
I had a client that was a mother of three small children, and she was very popular and a leader, and nobody would know how much anxiety she had. Nobody would know. And so she hired me because nothing else was working. And within a session, for sure by the second session, 98% of the anxiety was gone.
Wow.
We were able to go back and trace it. And this is an anxious person, right? It doesn't have to be rocket science, and she's not on any drugs, right? But when we were able to look to see the influence of what about the mother, it wasn't the mother, but the grandmother, how she treated the mother, and then the mother was a certain way, and then the father was extremely successful and highly successful, and I then had like three women at one time that all had highly successful fathers, but they were insecure themselves,
Wow.
these women. So the point is, looking at the blocked energy and the ancestral to all of them and the patterns of how we feel about ourselves, and what the world looks like you say, you look in the mirror, what do you see? And the importance of having a good self-esteem. So helping women pick out clothes, know the color, You literally feel like $1 million and you may have a dollar to your name.
You
It doesn't
absolutely
matter.
do. And it doesn't matter. You don't have to buy expensive clothes. You have to buy the right clothes. And you can do that at a store where a top is $20. You can do it at a store where a top is $40, $50, $60, $70, $100, $200. It doesn't matter how much it costs. It matters if it has the right details for you. And
Yes,
that's the trick. And
yes,
people think, well, if it's expensive, it must be great. It's just an expensive mistake.
it
You
is. It is. How can people get a hold of you?
By all means, go to my website, Scarlett with two T's, image.com. And there they can learn more about me, what I do, and they can also get some free tips. You'll see an ability to put in your email and get subscribe to my newsletter, and also to get a freebie, which is 5 tips to help you use your clothes and accessories to look up to 10 pounds thinner. Because that after these past few years of eating our way through our misery, a lot of us have gained some weight. So I show how to use your clothing and accessories in a way to minimize any extra in the middle. And I invite anybody to reach out to me if they are really ready to stop stressing about dressing, to actually be able to look in their closet and be able to quickly pick out what to wear and be ready for everything on the calendar. Because we shouldn't, you know what, we have to live and we have to enjoy, and we should be not turning down any invitations. We should be accepting all of them. And especially if you have your own business, you represent your business, and
Right.
you want to be seen as being put together and current, and not looking like you're disappearing into the room. And you also, people are hiring you. People hire you, Judy. People hire me to solve their problems. You need to look like you've solved your own first. And a lot of that has to do with confidence.
It does. It does. Well, I want to thank you very much for being a part of my show. I just absolutely love what you do and honor you, and thank you.